USA Warrior Stories is a not-for-profit organization designed to record, archive, and share videos of veteran stories, to help veterans make a connection with one another and to help us all better understand their sacrifices for our freedoms.
Hello, my name is Trayvon Fulton, originally born and raised in Richmond, Virginia, and been listening to the United States Army. I did 12 years. I'm now currently out of Philadelphia. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Back at home, right, back in Virginia, my father, I come from a preaching background. My father is a preacher, and I was a preacher, but I left there. You see how that's going, you know what I'm saying? My father, he wanted me to follow in his footsteps. Now, the thing is, my father, he felt like everybody in the Bible was black. He said, everybody. Like, Dad, I don't feel like, yeah, E-R-R, body, you know, from the South, everybody, yeah. I was like, Dad, I don't feel like it works that way. I don't think everybody in the Bible black, you know. I was like, Dad, I personally think Jesus' disciples were Mexican. Follow me before I lose you, okay? This is the gospel according to Trayvon, all right? All right. Said, why do you feel that way, son? I said, because Acts 2, God came to Solomon and said, hey, you and the other disciples come together in one accord. So we got a thinking crowd out here tonight, you know? The joke usually ripples, you know? What I'm saying is, I don't know anybody else who can fit 12 people in a Honda. Do y'all? That's just...
I originally got into the military because, well, one, you know, I've noticed, like, you know, in the South, that's what we want to do. We look to do that. They come to our, you know, our classes, they come to our cafeterias, and they have the stations, the pull-up bar station, the Marines versus Army. They give us keychains, book bags. So from young, we know that's what we want to do. I didn't know this is what I wanted to do, though. It's not what I wanted to do. My best friend, he had really long hair, and it was a way to get the ladies. And I was like, Trail, you really doing this? He was like, yep. And he did, and I saw how my friend, you know, changed himself, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go do the same thing, and now I'm here. So shout out to Trail, Don Trail. You know, this is the reason why I joined the military. So I went to boot camp at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Fort Lost in the Woods, as they call it. Nothing prepares you for that. You think you're ready, and you know, you're talking on the bus, and you have to drive the long, long bus, and the bus stops. And you just see these hats at the bottom of the window like sharks coming around there, you know, and they get on yelling, and you're like, where's my mom? Where's my mom? So no, nothing prepared me, and I was very much so shocked. I was a reservist, and then I went full-time, so I did both of them. And my earlier experiences were going in once a month, and I was kind of like halfway in, halfway out. And, you know, they can tell. And there were two people specifically who talked to me and said, hey, man, you really can do something with this. And they got a hold of me, and I was around them, and it made me really want to do this. And that's when I took it more serious. My MOS, I was a 92 Alpha, Automated Logistical Specialist, or as we call it, a 92 anything. Because that means whatever you need, we're the ones to do it. So we worked in a warehouse, motor pool, aviation. We even set up, you know, VSATs and satellites for people. That helped me become very well-rounded. And as far as the brotherhood and sisterhood, is nothing like it. I did do a tour in 2017. We were out of Kuwait, and we were in Iraq. It made me grow up fast. It made me have an understanding fast. You know, but it kind of cripples you at the same time because everything is given to you. You know, your food is given to you. You live in this kind of island in a bubble. Here's your PX. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. Don't do this over the weekend. And you come out into the world and you see that everyone doesn't live like this. You know, people don't say excuse me. People don't understand distance. or whatever. People don't understand respect. A simple sir and ma'am. Coming from Virginia, we always said that anyway, so it was fine. A simple sir and ma'am, and then, so certain things. So it was a good experience, but it was a shock. The transition is the world you once knew is not the same. So you got to remember, signing up, I was 18. I was about to turn 19 years old. So I've been in since a kid, literally. So this is what I know. And the transition was just the mental strain. Like a lot of us, we come back and we appear normal, and that's fine. The strong survive. So you learn how to mask these things and appear regular. But the truth is, we aren't. And we weren't allowed to be, quote unquote. So I think that's really the thing that I struggle with. As far as how I give back, I talk to like my friends who I have been with and deployed with and things of that nature. Anytime they call me, I'll answer. And they don't really know how to communicate what they're feeling, and I know that. And and anytime a guy calls you, so what you doing? Nothing, man. I'm all right, man. How you feeling? And I know that they're not feeling okay if another grown man calls another grown man and asks, hey, man, what you doing? And you don't need anything? You having issues and you can't really say it. It's okay, cool. I can talk to you. And I'll talk to them. Another way I give back is I tell my story, on stage. I tell stories about, the military, and I talk about the things that people don't think about, but I make them humorous.
Like, how you try to get military discount at places and it don't be military discount, and you be like, yeah, military discount. Like, sorry, I'd be like, it's cool. I was only willing to risk my life for your freedom. They're like, I'd be like, over and over. They'd be like, okay, I'm sorry. And I'd be like, it's all good. You smell that? They'd be like, what? I'd be like, smells like freedom. Something that I risked my life for yours over and over. Like, oh.
Being a stand-up comedian has been so beautiful because of things that, I can struggle with. I get a chance to say that. You know what it is? I get a chance to tell my story. I mean, I will share something with you. There was a time where we were supposed to go somewhere else, right? Our unit was supposed to go to another location. I ended up working with a lieutenant colonel, and he was a chaplain. I was working with him, doing his audio and stuff for him, and I was doing comedy while I was overseas. He said, "Hey man, I want you to do your jokes. I want you to do your jokes here and do this fashion show for me. Just talk for the fashion show." And he was trying to do something for the troops. Cool. And he said, "But tell your jokes in the middle of it." Gotcha. We didn't end up going where we were gonna go, and I ended up working with the lieutenant colonel. But I got word that when we were gonna go, 40 of those soldiers that did go, as soon as they got there, something happened and none of them made it. So, and in my mind, I was like, that was my sign. Unfortunately, it was very unfortunate for those other soldiers. And for me, it was like, okay, so I heard you loud and clear that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's kind of like the thing that saved my life is like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. If I never had a sign, I have one now.
Everybody always want to thank you for your services, right? Like, this is the only day I want people to thank me for my services on Veterans Day. Every day, we get tired of that, right? Y'all get tired of it. Like, I feel like there's wrong times to be thanked for your services. Like when I got to Philly and I was still in uniform because I was living out there, I still am, and I was still in uniform. And I got a nice Philly welcome when I got there, nice Philly welcome. I had got robbed. What happened was, right? So like I was at the store, right? And a guy walks in with a shotgun. He cocks it. He was like, "Everybody on the ground now." Everybody immediately looked at me. I immediately looked at them. I was like, "You heard the man. He said everybody on the ground. I don't know what you're looking at me for, So I'm finna get on the ground. And he taps me with the muzzle of his weapon. And he was like, "Hey, man, real quick, before you get on the ground, I want to say, thank you, for your service." I was like, "You're welcome. Do I get military discount off this robbery?"
It's joy. It's a form of ministry. Like I told you, growing up with a church background, even in the Bible, it said laughter does the heart good like medicine. So with this, if somebody 5 minutes and they said, man, you were so hilarious, and people tell me like, man, I was going through this. A guy was like, hey, my mother died 2 weeks ago. I was really struggling. I wasn't even going to come to the show, but you had me cracking up, and you even brought up your mom and stuff of that nature. And I'm like, that's what it's about.
Yeah, man. I'm coming from Philadelphia, man. I've been in Philly for a few years. I'm actually born and raised in Richmond, Virginia, right? And so, hey, South in the house, you know what I'm saying? So there's a thing we have, called Southern hospitality, and Richmond is, a pretty rough area, and I was like, I wanted to escape crime, poverty, and violence. So I moved to Philly, you know what I'm saying? Might as well make my life shorter, you feel me? Like, think we got Southern hospitality. Spoiler alert, Philadelphia doesn't know much about it, Like we have regular things in the South we can do, like speak to people. You feel what I'm saying? Like, especially once you come above the mason, especially not in New York either. You can't speak to somebody because if you speak to somebody, you want something. You feel what I'm saying? Like say hello to somebody. Hello, they got oils or something for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. But yeah, all my Southern hospitality is gone now, though. It's all gone. All that means is that I honk my horn at people for stopping completely at a stop sign now. That's it, Like, I don't even hold doors no more when I go home. I just let it close. I be like, your hands work, Mom. Okay, you be out.
A lot of military personnel are often in, when they're on the positive side of it, they're often in good spirits. And it's because we've seen the worst of the worst. So there's no reason to complain. So that's why I'm in good spirits. No matter what happens, any day above ground is a good day.